Now that you've got the sufficient knowledge, we're going to be making a maze game. It's just going to be a small character running through a maze. Delete this dude. And we're going to be creating a very small circle. I'm going to zoom in and let's fill it with white and let's just make it black and let's do this and boom. We've got a very small character as our character. I mean, to be honest, it's hard to see, so let's just fill it with red. Alright, all good. Now we can see it a lot more easily. And let's just drag him to the bottom left. Or wherever. No, let's just leave him here because we still haven't created the map. And now what we want to do is we're going to be making, well, when we previously mentioned that movement script I told you guys about. First, try to see if you can remember and you can create it yourself. If not, watch this. Getting good at duplicating is extremely important if you want to use this fluently instead of continuously being forced to drag stuff. Space first, like duplicating and then dragging is a lot faster than having to move your mouse all the way across and back. Up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow, and we're going to be using X, X, Y, and Y. All good. So now our character will move whenever you press the arrow keys. Or no, he won't. I forgot to make in the negatives. All good. Right, boom. So now our character moves across the screen at a very fast speed. So I'm just going to change this to -2. Now our character moves at a slower speed, but this is necessary. And what you want to do is now you want to create a maze. So I'm going to the backdrop, and I'm going to be creating a maze. I mean, you don't necessarily have to like upload a maze from Google, or you can just make your own maze. So I'm just going to make my own maze real quick. I'm just going to be using let's just use that, a black maze, and you start to say you start like start bottom left, I guess. And we're just gonna create a maze. I'm just gonna pause the video. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna create the maze. It's a very simple maze. I don't have time to create a really detailed maze, but yeah, not very good. Alright, it can barely be considered a maze at all, but it's okay, yeah. It doesn't really matter. And then it's going to be making this color. Just make the color 50. Oh, 50. Yes. Alright, and let's just put the circle at the finish. No outline should be 50 as well. Alright, boom. So now we've got our finish line. The circle is going to be our finished line. Now let's just drag our character back over here, and when it starts, it's going to be going here. Now what we want to do is that whenever our character touches the black of the maze, he dies. I'm just going to be using that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. And instead, as you can see, if you go to sensing, our conditions are all here. We were previously using if the keys are pressed. Instead, we're going to be doing if touching color, and we click on this. And as you can see, we can also we can do this. This is a kind of like eyedrop tool. You can just choose color, and boom. So whenever if it's touching color, we are going to be set back to our starting position. So every time we touch the black, we have to go back. Oh, it's not activated. Every time we touch the black, we're gonna go back. Alright, and now every time we touch this, the finish line, is going to broadcast a message. And you guys probably don't know what broadcast is yet. And broadcasting is basically like basically like saying, like the sprite saying, oh, this and this happened. So let's create a new message. Let's just say I won. And whenever it touches this color, it's just going to say it's broadcasting a message, I won. And let's just create another backdrop. And in this backdrop, I'm just going to say you won. And I'm just going to be using a much more apparent color because you can't see this very well. And boom, you won in big letters across the screen. And now what we want to do is for the backdrop, whenever the flag is clicked, of course he has to go to backdrop 1, because if it's backdrop 2, it's going to say you won before you even start the game. And then you just get the broadcast signal. When you receive I won, so broadcasting is basically like sprites and backdrops yelling at each other. They're like saying, oh, so when this sprite screams, oh, I won, this sprite will say, oh, when I hear that, when I hear sprite 1 say I won, then I'm going to activate this. So we are going to switch to backdrop 2. And we also want to stop everything. So after our character wins, we don't want him immediately dying or anything like that. So we're just going to stop all. Stop all is a very complicated thing. There are 3 types. There's this script, it'll stop that script. Or it'll stop every other script in Sprite except that one. It requires a lot of understanding. But anyway, let's test it. Starting it. And we create it. And whenever you touch the black, we die. We are set back. So we gotta go through this maze. Oh, I'm really close to that. Without dying. Oh, it's gonna be a tight squeeze. And you won. It stops everything and it says you won. So that's the game we made today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.